What is the perfect way to get revenge? Is it putting birdseed on their car? Jizzing in their shampoo bottle? Slowly poisoning their lemonade with Drano? How do you know the best way to get back at someone? Well, here's a story on how I got the perfect revenge. My story begins with the culmination of pure joy, a dog. When I was 17, I had this dog named Shelby. She was the greatest. Every day I'd come home, she'd shower me with love. No matter how bad my day was, it was hard not to crack a smile as she laid in my arms for belly rubs. But Shelby technically wasn't my dog. She was my sister's dog. However, after the first month of rescuing her, my sister just left her with me and my mom. For 3 years, my mom and I lived with this bundle of joy until one day Shelby had a cut in the side of her neck. I was thinking it was one of the neighbor's kids as my maternal instincts kicked in like, if they hurt you, I will murder them. So my mom and I take the dog to the vet and they inform us that Shelby needs surgery. And this is where we f***ed up. Instead of just paying for the surgery, my mom decides to call my sister who comes and picks up the dog. 5 days go by and we haven't heard any news. Mom and I are freaking out. Call my sister who isn't responding. Desperate, we start calling every vet in the area and that's where we were able to piece together what happened. Turns out my sister took the dog to the vet who informed her the surgery bill would be $2,000. Sister didn't want to pay for that, so she brought her back to the same vet crying saying the dog wasn't hers. Because apparently there's some law saying if a random dog needs surgery, they have to perform it, with a caveat being you obviously can't keep the dog afterwards. So instead of my sister recommending the dog go to me and my mom, she decides to give it to a friend in Pennsylvania. My parent and I were furious, leaving messages of how dare you give Shelby away without consulting us. You abandoned her for 3 years. You don't have the right to determine what's best for her. But my sister never responded. Fast forward 5 years later, my sister's getting married. Mom tells me I'm invited, and I'm like, why the hell did she invite me? Mom's like, because I paid for half the wedding, so she has to invite you. I didn't want to go, but I also wasn't going to abandon my mom, so I was like, all right, whatever, I'll go. Mom's like, good, now you just got to get her a gift. I'm like, she took Shelby away. I'm not getting her dick. Mom was like, if you don't get her something, I'm putting $50 in an envelope and saying it was from you. I'm like, all right, I'll get her something. Jesus. So I searched around my house for some crap to throw in a box when I came across my dog's old chew toys. Most were torn apart, except for one stuffed toy that was a little devil, where if you squeezed it, it'd say, the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. I'm like, perfect. So I put it in a shoebox, wrote the name Shelby above it, and wrapped it in Jewish wrapping paper. Why Jewish? Because that's what I had laying around my house, and there was a 0% chance I was going to spend any money on this gift. So I go to the wedding, put the gift with the other presents, dance with my mom for a few hours, and then head back home. The next day, I have a threatening voicemail from my father, who I haven't talked to in years. I'm like, what the hell is this about? So I call him up, and he proceeds to curse me out, saying I should be lucky he didn't tell people where I lived. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the hate crime you committed at the wedding. I'm like, whoa, hate crime? He's like, his family is Jewish. You knew what you were doing with that present. And then it all hit me. You see, what happened was my sister decided to open up gifts at the wedding, which is wild because you're basically just throwing shade at different people. Oh, a toaster, Jerry? That's nice. And Becky got us a $200 gift card to Target, but a shitty toaster's just as good. So when she opened up my gift, the entire groom side of the family somehow took a stuffed devil doll in Jewish wrapping paper as a hate crime. Ignoring how dumb you must be to make that correlation, this entire situation could have been mitigated by my sister. Because not only was she the one that bought the toy, it very clearly said my dog's name right above it. So she could have just brushed it off saying, oh, it's my brother being a dick, and then just gone back to her wedding. But instead, she let them believe it was a hate crime, because that's how my sister operates. She'd rather let people believe a lie if she can be the victim, even at the cost of the happiest day of her life. So my sister took my dog away, but I ruined her wedding, so I think it balances out. Anyway, that's my story on how I got the perfect revenge. If you guys have any good revenge stories, please let me know down in the comments. And just remember, if someone pisses you off, don't get mad, get even.
You know what you want to do? Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.